used to be obsessed with this little thing called BookTok. Probably still am. Probably still could be called obsessed. But if you haven't heard of it, I'd say have you been living under a rock, but some people just don't have TikTok and that's alright. It's basically a community where people just kind of recommend books, and most of the time they recommend the same books over and over again. This week, we're going to be reading one of the series that is kind of like a BookTok book. And we're just going to see what it's like. And I think it's going to be a great time, because honestly, BookTok has given me so many like good recommendations in the past. Like The Inheritance Games was a BookTok book. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I have not read it for a few years, but I loved it. Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone, Holly Jackson. I think having like social media is such a sick way of marketing books. So hopefully we love this one just as much as I loved Holly Jackson's books. It's nothing like Holly Jackson's books, to be quite honest. I'm gonna grab it for you. Is that alright? Is that permitted? It kind of looks like it's got a Demogorgon on the front. On the front. Not on the front. What's a flunt? It's like a blunt, but an F. A flunt knife. I think it's meant to be a plant on the front. Oh my god. I think it's meant to be I think it's meant to be a plant on the front. Oh yeah, it's a flower. It looks nothing like a Demogorgon looking at it now. But we have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I have the other two. They're somewhere over there. And they're going to stay over there because we're going to take this one book at a time and have a little bit of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. From what I know of this book, the main character is a prison healer. She works in a prison, and I'm not entirely sure what happens, but I do know that there's a big twist at the end, and I'm excited for the twist. Kiva or Kiva? I'm going to say Kiva. Kiva Meriden is a survivor. After 10 years of working as a healer, how did I guess it? How did I guess that she was a healer? How did I guess it? I'm going to guess this plant on the front is some kind of special plant that she's going to have to get. What if it's like Rapunzel? What if it's like Tangled and she gets... This is going to give like eternal youth, but eternal health. It'll be like Mother Knows Best, but Supervisor Knows Best. Supervisor knows best. Listen to your super... It's a scary word without the flower. After 10 years of working as the healer in the notorious death prison, Zalindov, she has only one goal: stay alive. Surely, how does one die as a healer? Can you not just heal yourself and just be like, whoop? That's right. But then the rebel queen arrives at the prison on death's door, and Kiva received a message: don't let her die, we are coming. That's not very appropriate. When the queen is sentenced to a series of impossible elemental challenges, Kiva volunteers to take her place. If she wait, why? I'm just going to read it and we're going to find out. If she succeeds, both she and the queen will be granted freedom. Okay, so it is a sort of like Tangled situation, because she's trapped. She's trapped in a prison. How can you trap a healer in a prison? But no one has ever survived. Ooh. With an incurable plague sweeping Zalindov, a mysterious new inmate fighting for Kiva's heart, and a prison rebellion brewing. Oh no. Oh no. Kiva can't escape the terrible feeling that her trials have only just begun. Okay, Sarah J Maas says this is a must-read for any fantasy lover. Unfortunately, I don't listen to what Sarah J Maas says, so you know. Today we are reading The Prison Healer. Let's do it! I feel like I've started swearing a lot and I'd like to stop. Let's redo that. Let's have a take two. And let's go, bro! It's better to swear. It's a lot better to swear. I'm about... Wait a second. I'm about 125 pages in. It's been a couple of days and I do kind of need to speed up. I know it's taken me a couple of days to actually like get into it. Like there was, when I say a couple, I mean this is like the third day of reading it. The first day I think I read the prologue. There's like a 2-page prologue. I read that and I kind of was like, I wasn't really sure if I was gonna carry on the video just because I didn't really like the writing style. This happens, this happens, this happens. Just events, that's there, like, tell. It was very much like tell. I feel like I'm more of like a first person reader. I like reading in the first person even when it's fantasy, just because I like seeing from like a very specific perspective. You can really explore the world through that character. I think if I published a fantasy book, it would be third person. Let me read you a passage I've written. I just prefer when it's very centered on the character, so that like even when it's third person, so that you could then you're very pinned down to this one character. The world is kind of like, you see the world through their eyes and it's like a reflection of their ideas, and then you kind of use the world, like how the world changes, to kind of reflect their changes. I like it when there's kind of a lot of like broken sentences. I think that really works for me, because especially because I feel like it mirrors the character's mind, because then you kind of see, again, it's like that reflection, and you kind of see the character's like mind changing. Like I like a big block and then like little tiny bits. I'm not going to give you the context, and this is probably going to change before anything happens to this book. The three turned a corner at the exit of the castle just in front of them. No guards, because why would a palace so respected need them? Eve was the only one who needed to be protected. So close, so undeniably, unquestionably close, to Eve's redemption, to Ren's freedom. So close Eve could grasp it in the palm of her hand, which made it all the more devastating when their dreams slipped away, just so out of reach. Because in the time it took them to reach the door, someone else had reached it too. I was intending to read one page yesterday, like before I went to sleep. Or not one page, a chapter before I went to sleep. 100 pages later, I finally put the book down because I needed to go to bed. And then I read another chapter this morning while I was waiting to go in the shower. I just really like it. Like, I think it is kind of slowly falling into like the category of the writing style I like. Not much has happened yet, but it's so quick. It's so fast paced. It's just really, really fun to read. 3 days left of filming this video apart from today, and we have 3 books to read. I'm really hoping that I enjoy the end of the book and then enjoy these two. We're not entirely sure like what the main character has done, but it keeps going back into the past so we can learn a little bit more, and I'm just really enjoying it. I'm not a fan of insta love. I feel like there's a lot of books that have insta love right about now, and I fear this could be one of them, but we're just going to carry on because I like the actual story and I'm very excited. And so far the author truly is a masterful storyteller. Storm's get the ball. Ball! Where's the ball? This is your first video. I promise it's not normally like this. I just don't like the prison either. I just need to finish the first one today, and hopefully the other ones will be easier. I'm like 200 pages in. The issue is every time I start, I just keep counting. Get the ball! Counting the pages to the next chapter, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, but we're gonna carry on for you. It's not normally like this, I swear. There's a very different vibe on the dog walk today, but today's the day we finish the prison healer and also probably give up the rest of the series. This patch of mud represents exactly how I feel right now. There's no way backwards, there's also no way forwards. I'm so close to DNFing this book, but we have to finish it. We have to finish at least the first one. It's rainy and horrible and cold, and this book is going to bring us some warmth. Okay, so obviously I'm home now, but I've still got my favourite. I just don't know what to do about it because it's been over a week and I haven't finished it. I thought this series was gonna like take me a little bit, but there's still 2 other books that I have to read within about 3 days. So every time I open the book, I'm like counting down the pages until it's done. And that's just not good vibes, and we want to have good vibes. I can't even think of what this plot twist is going to be at the end. That's the only reason I'm still going. I can't even think of what it's going to be. Every single time I've picked it up, all I've wanted to do is put it back down straight away. I hope this doesn't put some people off of reading this book, because I'm sure it's some people's cup of tea. It's just at the moment it's not really mine. Okay, this video's gone really, really off track, so I think we just carry on going off track and just have a little chit chat whilst I get ready. I'm thinking this top, but I also think it's way too summery. It's really not the vision, it's really not the vibes, because it's like pouring down with rain outside. This is the other top, and I feel we are gonna have to go with this. Why is it so difficult? Why do they make it so difficult? Why can the weather not just go with what I want it to? Okay, the top is pretty much nailed in. We're definitely wearing this. I just need to work out what to do for hair and what to do for face. We're going to talk about this book. I don't know what's happening. I haven't been like this with a book for ages, where like normally it's like, oh, I don't like it, but I'll still carry on just because I want to get to the end. This, I enjoy it, but it's just impossible, and I don't understand why. I don't know what the problem is. Is it me? Am I the problem? Play anti-hero. I think when I start a book, if I don't read like a lot of it in one go, I just don't enjoy it. I just have been reading in like 20-page increments. This is a 400-page book. If you read it in 20-page increments, it's gonna take you a long time. Sorry, this is probably gonna be a really odd visual. Is it the book? Am I just not really wanting to read a fantasy right now? Is it like, because if this is how we're starting the year, this is exactly what I did last year. I barely read in the beginning of the year. I don't think I read a book in March. I feel like you see people like posting about how they finish a book every day, and like, yes, that was what I was doing last week, but it was because I was doing a challenge. Normally I wouldn't do that, but like, you see people posting and you're like, why am I not doing that? And it just gets into your head, and then you can't get out of that feeling. You're stressed because you're not on that level, and then you go deeper and deeper into your head, and you can't win. I'm kind of regretting doing that challenge last week, because I don't want to be someone people like, I don't know, I get not many people are watching, but I don't want to be someone who like, people are like, oh, this video has really demotivated me because I haven't read that much, like I haven't been able to do that. Like, I don't want to be that for people. If it was just like a case of, oh, I'm not liking this book, I'm gonna stop, then I would just stop. I wouldn't carry on. Or I could carry on, but like, I probably wouldn't. There's just no way to do it where you're happy with yourself and you're happy with what you've achieved, and it just really makes me mad. Why? What am I saying? If the bookmark had come out, I could have been like, oh, that's a sign that I have to stop, but it didn't. Is that cute? I don't think so, but I've done it now, so. But it's like, this book is genuinely like plaguing my every thought, because I'm just trying to work out why. I'm trying to work out what's going on. It's also the trials. I was expecting something like, the main character has to go through these like trials, and I was like expecting really big events, like, oh, what's it called? Quicksilver. There was a big trial at the end of that where they're like in a maze, and that was the thing that kept me going. I didn't really like Quicksilver, but I liked the fact that it had like that big event, and I think the way that the characters were developed through that event and how they felt after it, I think that was done really well. But with this, the event was jump. Listen up, folks, war is over, brand new shepherds come to town. We are done with acting evil, we will lay our weapons down. Obviously, I'm gonna put a different like lip gloss on when I go downstairs. Next like 3 hours, I'm gonna suffer. Actually, no, I'm not gonna suffer. That's a horrible thing to say. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna like it, and I'm gonna have fun. Okay, final outfit. Ignore the fact that I'm still just trying to put off this book. Cute. My hair's so messy. I used the dry shampoo and it failed. Also, I'm slowly starting to realise my face is the same colour as the top. It's somewhere I need to tan. But yeah. Let's go. This book has been plaguing my life since I started it. I think it's time we finish it. I think the worst part is, you can tell I haven't enjoyed this because I stopped it in the middle of a chapter. I just don't like reading it, but I don't know why. Also, I think the issue has also been, this week I've been so focused on crocheting. So I made this top, which I'm actually going to undo, with that same colour wool. Basically, this was the vision for the first one, but then I kind of like didn't know how, so I was just trying to work out how to do the pattern in the first place of like the flowers. Then I worked out this, and it's so cute. Obviously I need to steam it. There's going to be 3 more rows of flowers and then it's done. And if you like the look of that and you want a tutorial, let me know, because it's actually quite simple. That's what's been distracting me while I've been trying to read this. Ugh. The thing is, I feel like it's just such like a conventional book. I understand tropes, and I understand like following the tropes and following like what does well in the market and all of that sort of thing. It's just too predictable. I'm trying to think of like, in terms of like representations, like the feminine figure that's being represented, every single figure surrounding her that's done something, I guess, that's like moved the story along in terms of these trials, has been male. There's only one other female character who has any real sort of who has any sort of power. There's only one female character that has any power. Like, the main character's a healer, and you'd think like, oh, she'll save herself in these trials, like and I understand like there are different types of female representation, do not get me wrong. If the only people that are pushing the plot forward are men, and the only reason that any of the other characters are surviving are men, even though it's not like outwardly saying women are inferior, it's still pushing that sort of stereotype of like, the only way to get things done are men. I think I'm just going to carry on and finish it, and then we don't have to talk about it again, apart from when I do read the second one and the third one, because I have bought all of them. I'm really sorry that this isn't like a very positive video. I was trying to keep 2026 like the year of possibility and positivity, but I just really have not been enjoying this book. Again, I hope I haven't put you off. There are a lot of like good aspects of it, like I said, the characterization. I think the plot is like very intriguing. I just don't know if for me it's been executed particularly well. Let's do it and let's finish it, and then I can get back to my crochet because I want to do more tonight. I think I might do a crochet video at some point, maybe after if I do a 24-hour thingy readathon, the readathon, oh my goodness, readathon, write that down, put that in your memory tabs. We're doing a readathon at some point. Okay, I'm just putting this off now, but I actually really do need to finish this book. It'll be fine, it'll be great. We just have to read and then read a bit more and then read a bit more and then just keep turning the page and just keep turning the page, because we're going to finish this book. It's going to be great, and then I can read something else and actually like get back on track in terms of heart and soul and general fun. Let's do it. Sick. I guessed it. Just finished. I think I'm gonna say 3 stars. I think that's quite generous. The only thing that kept me going throughout the entire book was the big plot twist at the end, and I guessed it. I guessed it. What makes it even worse is I guessed it as a joke because I thought that would be too obvious. I didn't guess all of it, don't get me wrong, but I guessed like the main part of it. This is the kind of book that I would have loved when I was like 14, 15. And like, I don't mean that as a dig, I mean like this is just like the type of book I would have like enjoyed reading. I just think at that point I wouldn't have really thought about representations. I wouldn't have thought about like that sort of thing. I was kind of reading more for enjoyment, and don't get me wrong, I'm still reading for enjoyment. I just mean now I have a bit more of like a critical perspective. I just think that's something you have to think about, how this is a YA book. This is meant for people who are around as young as 12 years old. You have to think about the fact that when you're writing, young readers are going to be reading it and it's going to be going into their minds. It's going to change their way of thinking. So if you have a book where the main character is female and has essentially no way of deciding her future, no way of affecting her future, every decision that she makes is ruled by a man, any power she has is ruled by a man, then you're not like giving a very good representation for those younger readers. Like the fact it literally says on the front, a must read for every fantasy lover. I must say, as a fantasy lover, I wish I did not read. No, that's too far, that's mean. I just think that this was the wrong time to read it, and I think I will enjoy the second and third one. But I'm really sorry this hasn't been very like happy of a vlog, but I do hope you've had a good time. I hope I haven't put you off reading this book. I know I've had a very like negative view of it, but maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe you'll have a different view. If you have read it and you want to share your thoughts, we can have a little discussion. Please comment, you know. And yeah, I hope you've had a lovely day, or you're having a lovely day. I have no clue where you are, but I will see you very soon. And